Let's see. Back on information technology, IT. Good morning, Charlie. Good to see you. Hope you're recovering well.
Every day's a little bit better, so
Good.
I can't complain. Guess I can, but it won't help. All right. I have a lot of background information, so don't think what I handed out to y'all is all that involved. It's just background stuff that,
Okay.
that lets you know what is really going on there. The first sheet on the 503 is the IT or data processing department, whichever you want to call it. And the only thing changed there is asking for another position, and I guesstimated about $40,000 for that position. And a lot of that's due to the increase in cybersecurity, and there's some projects, hopefully, if they're funded, will be pushed out next year. Office 365, we'll have to go to Windows 11 eventually, so that'll be purchasing new computers and setting them up and pushing that Windows 11 out.
So some of our computers won't handle Windows 11?
Some of them will not handle Windows 11.
Okay.
The newer ones were purchased will, but it pretty much tells you if it does or not, so
Okay.
we'll start doing that probably next year. Some people have already started replacing some computers. Phone system replacement, we're probably going to do that this next year. I've got a meeting with Conterra next week to kind of discuss and lay that plan out. Hopefully that can be done without any additional expenses to the county, because it'll roll what we've got for phone bills into that. Okay. The next sheet is the 409. There's 4 accounts there. 4421 is for telephone and cell phone. What that is the monthly billing for our phone services, and there are some cell phones in there and things like that. All right, the next page, the 409 4558. I have some highlighted ones in there. Let me know if you're still not there yet. It's the spreadsheet with the orange bars in it, 4578. Okay, Leads Online, I had a discussion with Hilton Poindexter, because last year they paid that out of Sheriff's Office funds. We're moving it back in there because he did not do it in his budget, so we're putting it back in there. It had already been a line item on that previously, and I don't know why they didn't. They paid for it, but it's going to be covered this year. The next line, the 2200 for that's basically maintenance on those 2 plotters that we have at County Clerk. And there's not an active maintenance agreement on those, because the one's leased and there should be repaired because of the lease, and the other one's past end of life, so we'll have to pay for any repairs on that. So hopefully we can cover it in that, or if not, use that to purchase a new one. Kemp Instruments down towards the bottom is UPS and dispatch. That's for the annual maintenance on that device. That's when they remodeled upstairs, we got a secondary UPS to power all the equipment up there and dispatch to keep them up. And it's off the jail generator also, so it should stay up at all times. So unless power goes out for an extended period of time, we should be good up there. The next line, the Rapiscan, is the big scanner at the front door over at the main courthouse. We do not have maintenance on that. I just got an email last night, and that's the little stapled document on the back. On the very end of your document, Dwight Mays got a quote for, they have to come out and look at the device and check it out before they'll put it on a maintenance contract. So I've kind of built that out, so hopefully I can cover it both at $8,500. So we'll get an assessment of what we got, then we'll put an annual maintenance on that. So that's what that's for there. Okay, the supporting documents there are right behind. Any questions so far on that? I know that's a lot. The Rapiscan, it's quite an investment that we got through that grant. Okay, unless you have any questions, I'll go on to 4572. And that is a small orange barred spreadsheet like that. Okay, and the changes on there, depending on what we're going to do with copiers, that was $25,000. I added an additional $25,000, rounded up to 50 we're asking for, because this year and next year, and you'll see a spreadsheet behind that with orange and yellow, I guess salmon and yellow, those are the ones that'll go out of past end of life. They're either past end of life or will go out within the next 2 fiscal years. So that's a total of about $100,000 to replace all those if we do that. So if $25,000 will take us quite a while to get to that part, so that's why I asked for additional $25,000 there.
So do we own these copiers?
Yes, sir. The only thing we're leasing is the plotter in the county clerk's office.
Okay.
And leasing opens up a whole new question with the auditor's office.
Yeah, well, I'd just soon own them. And we'd had this conversation, our copier up here, I think, is what is at
10?
its end of life.
Yes,
But we've had zero problems, zero
Yes.
issues, and I can't imagine why we'd replace it if
yes,
sometimes you get one that lasts forever, and we might have one of those, and I sure wouldn't want to replace it.
sure,
If
sure,
they build them incorrectly where they don't automatically fail after about 4 or 5 years,
yes.
then,
So,
Built in.
yeah.
yeah. So we'll have copiers to deal with in the
Sure.
not too distant future. Did I cover the last thing? Oh, network backup device. We have a RNAS, which is a server with a bunch of disk drives in it that we've been backing up to. They're pretty much coming to end of life. And if you all recall, when our Exchange server or email server went down, it was kind of a pain to rebuild. This new device will allow us to do that, plus it's more cyber secure than the previous one. And it's got 5 years of maintenance in it, so in 5 years we'll be replacing it anyway, so that should play out pretty well. You know, so that's an addition. You ready for 4578? I have a bunch of different colors that I'm going to share with you all. Some of this stuff is maybe on some departmental request. So Becky and I she generated a list and gave it to me. So some of these may be double dipping, so we'll work that out. The Hart Hava, which is the election stuff, I know that it's on his request. There's a entity there for software licensing. Basically, that'll cover if we have to buy a server and set up a server, that will give us the software to do that. And down later, I'm going to address Office and Adobe. Okay, there's some blue ones right there on the first page. Those are items that are being cleared off and no longer being used. So I just wanted to point that out to you that that's coming off. The Cisco SmartNet, what we had done, it had maintenance on our core equipment from the computer room to the 4th floor to the dispatch, so because we consider that a critical service. So we're putting those on maintenance. So we can buy a device and put it on the shelf cheaper than we can pay for the maintenance. So we're going that route on that. So we dropped that because that would have been about, I think about $12,000 for those 2 switches to put on maintenance. Okay, the next page on that, I added the TP time center interface as blue. That should go away with the implementation of time and attendance, but we don't want to get it away until we get closer to that time of cutover. The Vista mount, that probably should be in elections. I'm sorry, I passed up Vine. Vine is orange up there. That's an interface for the victim notification when somebody's let out of jail. It's been paid for all these years, it just never showed up on the list. Okay, vistas, elections. Then the bottom of the page, this is where things are going to start to hurt. They got an upgrade on the watch guard down in the sheriff's office, but there will be annual costs for running that. So these are the two costs. Two there is, one is the server maintenance, and the next one is licensing. So that's a total of about $1,400 there. So there's a, yeah, $14,900 for those two annually. And you know, that's the body camera and the car camera server and device. Okay, the next, I skipped one, I think. Amplifon, that was given to me by Dwight Mays. There's a software package that they set through a demo on. I'm not sure who all was there. I think, Becky, you were there. To implement it is $35,600, then $20,000 a year thereafter for the use of things. So it's I think it's $115,600 for 5 years of that program. I don't know anything about it other than they requested it. So I'm sharing the news. Content management, you all approved that earlier in the month, and it's an add-on to Encode. There are two charges there. One's the one-time implementation fee of $9,530, then the annual is $6,330. Okay, and content management is for Encode for them to scan documents in to digitize what the paper that they have. Okay, Office 365. There will be an annual amount of $74,000, well, almost $75,000. And what that is, the new version of Office is cloud-based. It doesn't have to be, but it's cheaper that way than you trying to manage it. And it's cloud-based, and security and everything is done within that, so it removes a lot of liability from the county. And there's two kind of subscriptions. One is the people that need Office elements like Word, Excel, and things like that have to have the full package. And if we just have people that need an email address, we can set them up with the email address. And that's the one-time fee for $26,972. And what that is a perpetual license. We buy X number of licenses. We dole them out as we see, so you can reuse those. It's kind of a gotcha, because if you want to use Office, you have to have a Microsoft account. So it kind of hand ties you, because in the past we were able to get by with less because we could just install packages on a hard drive. So it's the new way of them making money. They'll lock you into the 365 and the cloud license. Okay. Employee Navigator, that's a package that's being used in human resources, and this is an annualized amount based on what they had. They're currently using it, but they're pulling it out of their current year budget. So this is a new addition to the overall. I also provided at the tail end, if we want to upgrade our Adobe Acrobat, there's probably about 10, 15 pages of documentation of the cost of that. And there's a different variation in license there. You can get the Pro or the Standard, depending on what your need is. And that's something we'd have to go through desk by desk and figure out what they need before we put it. And same thing with the Office 365. If people don't need the full-blown thing, then they're going to get the perpetual license. So there's a lot to think about on those things. I did get, I told you about the quote for the Rapiscan, that I have to update that. When I have changes, I'll notify you, Judge, and Becky.
Anything else? Is that your last line?
Yes.
You guys have any questions for Mr. Nenninger?
I know there's a lot there. If you ever have any questions, you can email me or call me.
My only request is, would you fill that out completed with what all you're requesting?
Okay. On the 503,
Yep.
because I don't get one for the other line items. I print out a balance sheet for you on that one.
Okay.
So I can circle those and put a number on them if you want me to.
Well, I guess I really meant the other one that has,
It has 409 accounts.
yes, sir, I'd rather, well, I need both of them completed.
Okay,
Yep. That way, I can go through here and add up what all you put in.
well, I can provide those amounts.
I don't want to leave anything out.
Yes, sir. And some of it, like I said, Dwight's chasing another maintenance account.
Sure, and you said you were gonna go and make sure that, like in the elections office, that we're not duplicating, he's not
Yes,
expecting to pay for something that you're
yeah.
including.
There's a list of things that are either IT equipment or software that Becky's made a list of, and we'll make sure that they're one-timers.
Very good. That'll help. Anything else, Mr. Nenninger? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Judge Greer, we've got about 10 minutes if you'd like to come up.
Thank y'all. So I'm new to the process, and as Becky's helped me out this year, I've run out of money already. But
Uh-oh.
I think it can be explained. We had 2 new judges that had 3 weeks of training earlier or in the year, so I don't think that was budgeted in. But anyway, so my budget, and our judges did get together. I'm not sure if they're going to come up individually or not, but we kind of, on our salaries, we just put a 5%, and kind of like Brad said, the cost of living's gone up. But also our clerks, I'm learning that they're very integral. It's kind of like all our support staff. We couldn't live without them. I know mine, they're the face of the courthouse in Hallsville and the face of the county. When you come in, that's, even if they're going to the tax office, they stop there, where do I get my tags done? And so they're dealing with all the phone calls and everybody coming in, so I couldn't live without them. But, so we just, like I said, I don't know how it's gonna work, but asked for 5% on both of them. The travel allowance, we went up, I think y'all done 75 last year and went up just for, again, cost of living and everything. Office supplies, we stayed the same. I stayed the same. Postage, like I said, hope it don't go over with it going up. I increased my travel expense and training. This year I got both my clerks to go to training, and I don't think they had been in the past, and that's almost more important to me. Going to training is getting them up to date, so a lot of that is for them. And
So you were able to cover that with 2,500?
I think so, and along, I'm gonna get to the technology fund. I don't know much about it, but we added most of the expenses onto that, and I might have needed Charlie to, or y'all can explain that maybe to me, but I think so. And we use a lot of that just for our East Texas Justice Peace and Constables Association have quarterly meetings, and that's a good training, and our clerks haven't been going to that, and so I'm gonna try to get them, because they can get access there. And the equipment maintenance, I need it's a date and time stamp, and we've got one refurbished, keeping date or time, and they can repair it for $400, and it's like $800 for a new one, or $1,000. So I added that, and then just the miscellaneous equipment for my equipment costs. And I don't know how it works out. I put on a little note on here that I'm keeping my state health insurance, so that's, I assume, saving quite a bit of money on
It sure does.
the county
Yes, sir.
for just my budget, I guess. And like I said, the other part is this technical education fund, and that's where we increase for the clerk's training and my 20 hours of training. And I think one conference, and that, I guess that's at 463 budget. So that's all I had.
So just so you know, the Justice Technology Fund, which y'all are able to use for some of your travel and training, you guys collect about 13,000, well, let's see, plus interest, about 16,000 is what I'd expect for all four. So that's about 4,000 if you broke it down individually, $4,000 you'd get to use from this. And right now it's got, well, at the end of last year, it had about 141,000 in that account. So we have some room for you guys to spend. So maybe we would, some of your travel expenses, we would push it over into this Justice Technology Fund, which y'all are able to use.
Okay, yes, sir, and that, and we can do that. And that was, I guess Judge George explained to me, they try to use it out of there and they'll save some of the general budget.
Sure,
if we
sure.
have that, so that's.
I'm not in favor of pulling it down real low. I'd like to, if it's about 16,000 between the four of you, just try to plug in about 4,000 apiece, and that'll leave us at about $100,000 left in that fund if we ever needed it for
Okay.
something.
Yeah, I think with my two clerks going, and I think I've got around 6,500 requested on that tech fund now, and I don't know if the other judges did the same. And so the Justice of Peace and Constables Association does most of our training, and most of it's out of grants, so it saves,
Sure.
I think, hotel and registration. But there's also a Justice Court Judges Association that's some different training. They count towards our hours and all, and so it's a little different. And so, again, that's a learning process if there's some
Yeah.
different.
No, it's very necessary. I agree.
Yes, sir. And I do appreciate, I think Judge Smith got it done, the security added to my building last year. Everything turned out good. Brad did a good job, and new doors and windows looks much better.
Good.
And I think the only thing I'm gonna add some tint to the windows coming into the courtroom and one of the outside doors. But that was, talking with Brad, I think that $800 on my equipment maintenance.
All right.
If not sure if he's gonna get it done this year or next year. But I do appreciate y'all doing it. I think Judge Smith pushed for it, and I think it's been a lot of the technology or some money. I'm not sure where it came from, but it made my office look a lot better.
Good.
As I came in, so. Any questions?
Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
So the one up next is Juvenile Services. They are not here. Indigent Health, Miss Debbie Dean is not here. Anybody else want to go here that would like to?
Can I say something?
You sure can.
Okay. I just want to tell y'all that right now, we have the best working JP system that we have had in a long time. We are all working together. also had, I don't know if Greg touched on it because I didn't get here, but we've had some, I know those saying when you take office, you knew what you were making. Greg can tell you right now that he might have known what his duties were when he took office, but they have added a whole lot new duties added to us in the past month that the district judge and the county court at law judge are no longer doing. Bond reductions, revocations, we're doing those now, they are not. And that has put more work on us, more work on our clerks. We all need that education, because it's all of a sudden, we're not doing it, it's yours, and they don't quote me on nothing. And they leave, and we're sitting there going, but anyway, I do want to tell you, we are working great together and want to do everything we can. The technology fund is down because nobody's paying their tickets. We have tried everything we can, and our revenues, are down to nothing. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're got this new procedure that we're sending out notices, reminders on their phone, we're texting them, we're emailing them, we're doing everything we can, trying to get them to pay when they go to jail. We're even trying to set up payments to get them out, so it's not all jail credit. We are all trying to do our best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good to hear. I appreciate that. Any other departments here that would like to speak? If not, we'll temporarily, I guess we'll take us another little recess and wait on somebody else to show up. If y'all want another 5 or 10 minute break, and I'll reach out to Indigent, see if they're available to come a little early.